They say nuts are healthy. But what if I told you that after age 60, some of the most popular nuts sitting right there in your kitchen pantry could be silently sabotaging your health? It might sound extreme, but this is not hype, it's reality. These everyday snacks, often marketed as nutritious superfoods, could be the very reason behind your rising blood pressure, mental fog, fatigue in the bedroom, or even the decline in your kidney function. And the saddest part, many older adults eat them daily thinking they're doing the right thing. I'm Dr. Thalo Marcos. After decades working with aging adults, helping them reclaim their vitality, clarity, and confidence, I've seen how profoundly the right foods can bring life back, and how the wrong ones, often considered innocent, can quietly take it away. The truth is, your body after 60 doesn't react the same way it did in your 30s or 40s. The foods that once gave you energy might now leave you sluggish. Your metabolism slows, hormones shift, and even your ability to absorb nutrients changes. That's why today's message matters more than ever. Now let me ask you something. What if I told you there are 4 specific nuts that can support healthy circulation, boost brain function, help balance your blood sugar, and even improve your sleep, and yet barely anyone over 60 eats them regularly? On the flip side, there are 4 other types of nuts commonly eaten and heavily advertised as healthy that may actually be causing inflammation, interfering with your medications, and putting extra strain on your heart and organs. That's not just misleading, that's dangerous. You deserve to know the difference. So in today's video, we're diving deep. I'll walk you through all 8 nuts, 4 that should become part of your daily routine, and 4 that, quite frankly, you may want to never eat again. And stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal the single most dangerous nut that's been linked to memory loss and liver damage, and it might already be sitting in your cabinet right now. Let's get into it. And remember, the goal here isn't fear, it's power. The power to choose what truly fuels your body, especially after 60. Let's begin with the first nut that I believe every older adult should be eating daily. Brazil nuts. I call them the thyroid and testosterone boosters. Let me take you back to a moment with a patient I'll never forget. His name was Jack, a retired firefighter in his late 60s. He came into my office tired, mentally foggy, and frustrated. No energy, no spark, no motivation. He'd tried it all: protein powders, multivitamins, diet changes, but nothing seemed to help. We ran some blood work, and one thing stood out. Jack was severely low in selenium. Selenium is a trace mineral, and most people never even think about it. But it plays a massive role in how we feel, how we think, how we move, and yes, how we function in the bedroom. I told Jack to try something incredibly simple. No prescriptions, no new supplements, just eat 1 Brazil nut per day. 3 weeks later, he walked back into my office with a whole new energy. His skin had more color, his eyes were sharper, and he looked at me and said, "Doc, I don't know what's in that nut, but I feel alive again." That's the power of selenium. Brazil nuts are the richest natural source of selenium on the planet. Just a single nut gives you more than 130% of your daily requirement. And unlike synthetic supplements, the selenium in Brazil nuts is bound to organic compounds, which means your body can absorb and use it more efficiently. So why does selenium matter so much? First, it's essential for activating thyroid hormones. Your thyroid regulates your metabolism, energy levels, mood, and even memory. And as you age, thyroid function tends to slow down. That's why so many people over 60 experience fatigue, cold hands, unexpected weight gain, and a sense that their spark is gone. Selenium supports thyroid function from the inside out, no drugs needed. But that's not all. Selenium also plays a critical role in testosterone production. And testosterone isn't just about libido. It affects strength, sleep quality, motivation, and even how mentally sharp you feel. Low testosterone can quietly chip away at your vitality. Brazil nuts help your body produce and balance this hormone naturally. And there's more. The healthy fats in Brazil nuts support your nervous system. Specifically, they help protect your myelin sheath, the insulation around your nerves that keeps your reflexes quick and your coordination strong. As we age, that sheath starts to break down, and we move slower, feel stiffer, and even think slower. Keeping it intact is crucial, and Brazil nuts support that process. But I always give my patients one important warning. More is not better. Too much selenium can actually become toxic over time. That's why I recommend just 1, maybe 2 Brazil nuts per day. Keep them in the refrigerator, ideally in the shell, to preserve their freshness and chew them slowly and thoroughly. Turn it into a small daily ritual. No pills, no powders, just one powerful bite from nature. Because when you give your body what it actually needs, even something as simple as a single nut can reignite your energy, sharpen your thinking, and restore your sense of vitality. If 1 Brazil nut a day can do all that, imagine what happens when we add the next nut to your routine. One that quietly protects your bones and your brain and has probably been sitting in your kitchen all along. We'll talk about that next. Selenium is essential not only for thyroid support, but also for testosterone production. Testosterone affects much more than libido. It plays a critical role in maintaining muscle strength, promoting restful sleep, supporting motivation, and preserving mental clarity. As testosterone levels decline with age, these areas begin to suffer. Brazil nuts rich in selenium help the body produce and regulate this hormone naturally and safely. The benefits extend further. The healthy fats in Brazil nuts help maintain the myelin sheath, the protective covering around nerve fibers. This sheath is essential for fast reflexes and smooth coordinated movement. When it deteriorates, the body slows down, thinking becomes less clear, and coordination suffers. Preserving the myelin sheath is vital in aging, and Brazil nuts contribute directly to this function. However, moderation is crucial. Excessive selenium intake can become toxic. The recommended amount is 1 to 2 Brazil nuts per day. Store them in the refrigerator, ideally in their shell, and chew them thoroughly. This small daily habit yields powerful health returns. It eliminates the need for synthetic supplements and relies on nature's own design. 1 Brazil nut a day can support the thyroid, boost testosterone, and protect the nervous system. Adding another powerful nut to the daily routine brings even greater benefits. The next nut supports both bone density and brain health. It is often overlooked, yet its nutritional value is unmatched. Almonds are familiar, comforting, and highly effective in supporting aging bodies. They are especially valuable for maintaining bone strength and cognitive function. Bone density naturally declines after age 60, making fractures more likely and healing slower. Even minor accidents can lead to long recovery periods. Almonds help reduce this risk. A quarter cup of almonds provides nearly 100 milligrams of calcium. They also contain magnesium, which guides calcium into the bones rather than letting it accumulate in arteries. This combination of calcium and magnesium in a single food is rare. Almonds deliver both in a bioavailable, easy-to-digest form. In addition to bone support, almonds play a vital role in brain health. Cognitive decline, including Alzheimer's and dementia, is a growing concern among seniors. Almonds contain powerful antioxidants. When eaten with the skin on, they provide flavonoids that work with vitamin E to reduce oxidative stress in the brain. This protection helps maintain memory and mental clarity. Studies, including those from Tufts University, show that regular almond consumption may slow the progression of cognitive decline. The benefits are not limited to mental function. Almonds also support digestive health. They contain approximately 3.5 grams of fiber per serving, aiding in regular bowel movements. This helps improve energy levels, mood, and overall comfort. The recommended intake is 15 to 20 almonds per day. Choose raw or dry-roasted unsalted varieties. Chew thoroughly, especially for those with dental issues or swallowing difficulties. This simple habit contributes to long-term physical and mental stability. Almonds support the body's strength, stability, and sharpness. They are an effective and accessible part of a daily wellness routine. The next nut in the sequence resembles the human brain and offers unique benefits for memory, blood circulation, and sleep. Almonds offer more than support for bones and brain. They are also a powerful ally for digestive health. Each serving provides around 3.5 grams of fiber, a nutrient that plays a vital role in maintaining regular bowel movements. Constipation is a common struggle for nearly half of older adults, yet it is often overlooked. Digestive regularity might not seem exciting, but it has a profound impact on daily well-being. Energy levels, mood stability, and even mental clarity are all influenced by how smoothly the digestive system works. A consistent intake of fiber through foods like almonds can help reduce discomfort, support gut health, and make day-to-day life more comfortable. For this reason, a daily portion of 15 to 20 almonds is recommended. Choose raw or dry roasted almonds without added salt. Chew them slowly and thoroughly, especially for those with dental concerns or swallowing difficulties. Taking time with each bite transforms the act of eating into a mindful practice. It becomes more than just nutrition. It becomes a daily investment in mobility, clarity, and dignity. Once almonds become part of a daily habit, the body begins to respond. Movements feel more stable. Thoughts become clearer. Each day becomes easier. Almonds serve as quiet guardians, delivering strength and protection with every bite. There is another nut that deserves special attention. It mirrors the very organ it protects. Shaped like the human brain, it may be one of the most effective natural tools available for preserving memory, improving blood circulation in the brain, and enhancing sleep quality. Walnuts stand out as the brain's best friend. Years ago, a retired music teacher named Harold shared a moment that remains vivid. He had recently lost his wife and was grappling with memory lapses. He often forgot names, misplaced keys, and sometimes became disoriented on familiar roads. During a visit, Harold opened his kitchen cabinet and revealed a jar of walnuts. He said he read that they were good for the brain and that they even looked like a brain. That image remained powerful not just for its symbolism, but because it reflected his quiet determination to fight back against decline. Science supports Harold's instinct. Walnuts are among the most nutrient-dense foods for cognitive function. Structurally, they resemble the brain, but more importantly, they contain compounds that directly nourish it. One of these is alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fatty acid. ALA contributes to building and maintaining the flexible membranes of brain cells. With age, these membranes become rigid, reducing communication between neurons and causing memory to weaken. ALA helps keep those neural connections fluid and strong. In addition to ALA, walnuts contain polyphenols, potent antioxidants that are able to cross the blood-brain barrier. These antioxidants reduce inflammation within the brain, targeting one of the silent culprits behind cognitive decline. Inflammation is closely linked to memory loss, reduced focus, and neurological disorders such as Alzheimer's disease. Unlike many foods that offer indirect benefits, walnuts act at the core of the problem. Research published in the Journal of Nutrition revealed that seniors who consumed just 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily for 8 weeks experienced significant improvements in processing speed and mental flexibility. These results are not abstract. They represent real changes, the ability to remember a special date, understand a joke, or participate in a meaningful conversation. Walnuts also support sleep. They naturally contain melatonin, the hormone that regulates the sleep-wake cycle. As people age, melatonin production declines, making restful sleep more difficult to achieve. Adding a small handful of walnuts in the evening can help the body relax and fall asleep more easily, leading to better recovery and higher energy the next day. The recommended amount is 7 to 9 walnut halves per day. This modest portion delivers a powerful combination of omega-3s, antioxidants, and sleep-supporting compounds. Incorporating walnuts into the evening routine is a simple yet effective step toward protecting cognitive function and improving overall well-being. Walnuts should always be stored in the refrigerator. Their natural oils are delicate and can spoil when exposed to heat or light. Keeping them cold helps preserve their nutrients and flavor. The slightly bitter taste in their skin is not something to avoid. That bitterness is a sign of the antioxidants that help protect brain cells. Each bite offers a small dose of defense for the mind. Harold continues his daily walnut habit. Though the loss of his wife still leaves a deep absence, he has noticed that his memory is sharper, his concentration steadier, and his sense of identity more grounded. Walnuts are not a miracle cure. They do not create dramatic overnight changes, but over time they serve as quiet, steady protectors of one of the most valuable parts of health, the mind. Unsalted or lightly salted pistachios are the best choices for daily consumption. For those with arthritis or limited hand strength, selecting naturally half-opened pistachios can make shelling easier and more accessible. These small considerations help maintain a consistent and enjoyable habit. Pistachios are a rare blend of dense nutrition, rich flavor, and therapeutic value. They support heart health, eye function, blood sugar regulation, and promote a sense of control over one's body and habits. While these 4 beneficial nuts, Brazil nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios, can help elevate physical and mental well-being, after 60, there are other nuts that appear harmless but can quietly cause harm. These common snacks are often mislabeled as healthy, yet they may increase inflammation, raise blood pressure, interfere with medications, and contribute to cognitive decline. One of the most misleading examples is peanuts. Peanuts are widely consumed and often associated with health, yet their effects on the aging body can be surprisingly damaging. George, a 72-year-old Vietnam veteran who took pride in staying active, began experiencing persistent joint aches, constant fatigue, and a gradual rise in blood pressure. His lifestyle had not changed significantly, and his diet seemed relatively clean. But one detail stood out. He ate peanuts every day, believing they were a healthy snack. The truth is that peanuts are not true nuts. They are legumes that grow underground, and this method of growth makes them highly susceptible to mold contamination. One particular mold produces a toxin called aflatoxin, a substance that cannot be seen, tasted, or smelled, but can accumulate in the body over time. Aflatoxin has been linked to liver damage, immune system suppression, and even increased cancer risk. This risk is especially concerning for older adults whose natural detoxification systems become less efficient with age. In addition to the risk of aflatoxins, peanuts are known to trigger subtle inflammatory responses in many individuals. This is not the kind of inflammation that results in a rash or obvious reaction. It is low-grade chronic inflammation that quietly affects joints, the cardiovascular system, and even the brain. Over time, it can worsen symptoms like arthritis, fatigue, and mental fog, issues already common among seniors. The typical preparation of peanuts compounds these issues. Most are roasted and heavily salted. For seniors, more than 60% of whom manage high blood pressure, the excess sodium can lead to further cardiovascular strain. In peanut butter, the situation is often worse. Many commercial brands include hydrogenated oils and added sugars, turning a seemingly healthy product into a source of trans fats and blood sugar spikes. Even natural peanut butter poses challenges. Peanuts are high in omega-6 fatty acids. While the body needs both omega-3 and omega-6 fats, the ratio must remain balanced. A diet too rich in omega-6s, especially without enough omega-3s, drives inflammation and negatively impacts circulation, memory, and overall resilience. This imbalance is common in Western diets and is exacerbated by regular peanut consumption. Another concern is the interaction between peanuts and medications. For seniors who take blood thinners or other common prescriptions, peanuts can interfere with the body's ability to absorb certain drugs, especially those related to vitamin K. This adds a layer of complexity to already difficult medication management routines. Peanuts are easy to overconsume and commonly found in processed snacks, making them a hidden source of harm for many older adults. The assumption that they are safe can delay changes that could relieve persistent inflammation or fatigue. By identifying and reducing foods like peanuts, individuals can take control of underlying causes of discomfort and protect their health more effectively. If walnuts nourish the brain, then pistachios are the hidden guardians of blood pressure, vision, and blood sugar. These small green nuts are often overlooked, but their benefits are wide-ranging and impactful. Pistachios hold personal meaning tied to memory and tradition. In many homes, they appear in simple wooden bowls, cracked open one by one, slowly and patiently. What once seemed like a habit has revealed itself to be a wise and beneficial routine. Without understanding the science, older generations were protecting their cardiovascular and metabolic health with each handful. Nutritionally, pistachios are among the richest sources of potassium in the nut family, with about 285 milligrams per serving. That is more than what many fruits and vegetables provide. Potassium is essential for regulating blood pressure, especially as people age and become more sensitive to sodium and arterial stiffness increases. Pistachios offer a natural, gentle way to support healthy circulation. They are also valuable for eye health. Pistachios contain two important carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin. These antioxidants accumulate in the retina and filter harmful blue light. This helps slow the progression of age-related macular degeneration, a condition that threatens the independence and quality of life for many older adults. Supporting vision with food is an easy step that provides long-term benefits. Blood sugar control is another area where pistachios excel. With 3 grams of fiber per ounce and a naturally low glycemic index, they slow down digestion and reduce sugar spikes after meals. This makes them a smart choice for seniors managing diabetes or prediabetes. Replacing processed sugary snacks with pistachios can help stabilize insulin levels and reduce the risk of complications. Pistachios also influence eating behavior in positive ways. When eaten in the shell, the process of cracking them open slows down the rate of consumption. This gives the body more time to recognize fullness, which can help prevent overeating. The empty shells left in the bowl provide a visual reminder of how much has been eaten. This transforms snacking into a mindful, measured experience. The suggested daily amount is 1 ounce or roughly 49 pistachios. Choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties to avoid excess sodium. For those with arthritis or reduced hand strength, selecting naturally split shells can make the process easier. Pistachios provide a rare combination of nutrients and practical benefits. They support cardiovascular function, preserve eyesight, help regulate blood sugar, and encourage healthier eating habits. This nut may not draw much attention, but it offers powerful protection for multiple systems at once. Not everyone needs to worry about the occasional peanut, but for those over 60 who eat them regularly, it may be time to reconsider. There are safer options that provide the same crunch and flavor without the hidden risks of inflammation or toxic exposure. Choosing wisely becomes more important with age, especially when the foods that seem harmless can work against the body's changing needs. The next nut on the list is one of the most deceptively popular snacks found in kitchens, cafes, and even so-called healthy snack bars. Cashews have a smooth texture, a mild buttery flavor, and an image that says healthy. But beneath that image lies a range of concerns that most people, especially older adults, are not aware of. A few years ago, a patient named Linda came in with complaints that seemed unrelated at first. She was 70 years old, joyful, loved baking for her grandkids, and tried to make healthy food choices. But she had been feeling tired more often. Her stomach was unsettled and her blood sugar numbers were creeping up unexpectedly. When reviewing her diet, one food came up again and again: cashews. They were in her snacks, her cooking, her smoothies, and even in the granola bars she carried with her. She believed they were a safe, nutritious choice. Cashews, however, come with a hidden burden. They contain more carbohydrates than most nuts, about 9 grams per ounce, which gives them a higher glycemic impact. This means they can cause quicker spikes in blood sugar than expected. For the 1 in 4 older adults with diabetes and the nearly half considered pre-diabetic, even small daily increases in blood sugar can add up. The consequences often arrive silently: low energy, brain fog, and increased glucose levels during routine checkups. Cashews are also high in oxalates. Oxalates are natural compounds that bind with calcium in the digestive tract, reducing calcium absorption. For seniors already at higher risk for osteoporosis, this means less support for bone health. Even worse, oxalates can accumulate in the body and contribute to the formation of kidney stones. These stones are not only painful, but also more dangerous and harder to treat with age. Another issue that is rarely discussed is the risk of choking. Cashews are smooth and curved, making them easier to accidentally inhale. This is especially dangerous for older adults who have trouble swallowing or who take medications that reduce saliva production. Among all common nuts, cashews are among the top contributors to choking incidents in older populations. The way cashews are processed adds another layer of concern. In their raw state, cashews are toxic. They contain urushiol, the same chemical found in poison ivy. To make them safe, they must be steamed roasted or chemically treated. This intense processing often strips away many of their natural nutrients, leaving behind a food that offers little functional benefit while still carrying potential risks. Cashews may taste pleasant and seem like a wholesome choice, but for older adults, they often do more harm than good. There are better alternatives: nuts that provide real nourishment, reduce inflammation, support bone strength, and stabilize blood sugar. Almonds and walnuts are two of the best replacements. They offer fiber-healthy fats, antioxidants, and minerals without the added dangers. Substituting cashews with these options creates a simple but powerful shift toward better health. Choosing foods that work with the body, not against it, is one of the most effective steps in aging well. Macadamia nuts are often seen as a luxurious treat. Their smooth, buttery texture and rich flavor make them feel indulgent, like the kind of snack you reward yourself with after a long day. In many health food circles, they are marketed as heart-friendly, sophisticated, and clean. But for older adults especially, those over 60 macadamia nuts can quietly become a hidden source of health setbacks. Carl, a retired engineer in his late 60s, was sharp, funny, and consistent with his habits. He didn't eat junk food, stayed active, and kept his meals fairly balanced. But over the span of a few months, he began gaining weight slowly. His blood pressure started creeping up, and after meals, he often felt more sluggish than energized. When reviewing his diet, he mentioned one habit that stood out. Every evening, he would eat a small handful of macadamia nuts as a treat. Just 1 ounce of macadamia nuts, which is about a small handful, contains nearly 200 calories and 22 grams of fat. These numbers matter especially for older adults. As metabolism slows and physical activity tends to decrease with age, calorie-dense foods add up quickly. The issue isn't about overeating or indulging in sweets. It's about how easily a few bites of something rich can quietly push the body toward weight gain. This is what's known as silent weight gain. It doesn't happen overnight. There's no sudden spike on the scale, but over time it becomes harder to reverse. The concern doesn't stop with calories. Macadamia nuts are also among the highest in saturated fat content compared to other nuts with about 3 grams per ounce. Saturated fat can raise LDL cholesterol, the kind that increases cardiovascular risk. For seniors already managing high blood pressure or cholesterol, this added fat creates more strain on the heart. What seems like a small indulgence can actually interfere with long-term health goals. Another often overlooked concern is the gallbladder. Many older adults develop gallstones without knowing it. They might feel mild bloating or discomfort after eating, but ignore it. The high-fat content in macadamia nuts can trigger these stones to shift, leading to painful episodes that may require emergency care or even surgery. These situations often arise suddenly and without clear warning signs. Oral health also plays a role. Macadamia nuts are dense and hard. For individuals with crowns, bridges, or sensitive teeth, chewing these nuts can lead to cracked dental work and costly repairs. A food that is meant to be a pleasure can unexpectedly cause pain and long-term dental complications. Macadamia nuts might seem like a harmless pleasure, but they carry a weight that goes beyond calories. Their richness can turn into a slow burden on the body, raising cholesterol, triggering hidden gallbladder issues, and damaging dental work. There are other nuts that offer satisfying taste and texture without the same risks. While macadamia nuts can slowly weigh down your health, the next nut on the list is more subtle and even more concerning. It is small, oily, and rarely questioned, but it can interfere with how medications work, create unusual taste disturbances, and even contribute to dangerous weight loss in older adults. Several years ago, Ruth, a 74-year-old woman who managed her health with great care, came in with a strange complaint. She was consistent with her medication, exercised daily, and ate a clean diet. But for several weeks, she had been experiencing a strange metallic taste. Even water tasted off. At first, nothing in her medication, hydration, or digestion explained the issue. The source remained hidden. Ruth eventually mentioned something she had recently added to her diet, a homemade pesto made with pine nuts. That was the turning point. Pine nuts, although small and seemingly harmless, can create surprisingly large issues for older adults. Ruth was experiencing a condition called pine mouth, a taste disturbance that leaves a bitter or metallic aftertaste lasting for several days, sometimes even weeks, after eating certain types of pine nuts. While not dangerous in itself, the real concern lies in its consequences. When food and water start to taste unpleasant, many older adults unconsciously begin eating and drinking less. This can lead to unintended weight loss, dehydration, nutrient deficiencies, and in more serious cases, hospitalization. In later life, taste plays a much bigger role in overall health than most people realize. But pine nuts present more than just a taste issue. One of the most pressing concerns is their potential to interfere with common medications. Pine nuts contain compounds that can affect how the liver metabolizes certain drugs. This includes medications used to manage blood pressure, cholesterol, and mood, 3 of the most widely prescribed drug categories for older adults. When drug metabolism is disrupted, it can lead to reduced effectiveness or unexpected side effects. These interactions are not widely known or discussed, even among healthcare professionals, which leaves many seniors at risk without ever knowing the cause. Another issue is inflammation. Pine nuts are high in polyunsaturated fats. While these fats can be healthy in proper forms, they are very delicate and prone to oxidation. If pine nuts are stored improperly or sit on the shelf too long, the fats inside them begin to degrade. Once oxidized, these fats don't fight inflammation, they promote it. For older adults already managing joint pain, arthritis, or inflammatory conditions like metabolic syndrome, this hidden trigger can worsen symptoms quietly and persistently. Pine nuts are also often hidden in foods. They are blended into sauces, pestos, and baked goods, which means many people consume them without realizing it. This makes it harder to connect symptoms like metallic taste, inflammation, or drug interaction to the actual source. Another concern is aspiration risk. Pine nuts are small and oily. When combined with age-related changes in swallowing reflexes and the common issue of dry mouth caused by many medications, these nuts can easily become a choking hazard. In several cases, they have been inhaled by accident during meals. These situations can become emergencies, especially for those with compromised reflexes or underlying conditions. For all these reasons, pine nuts are not recommended for older adults. There are many other nuts and seeds that offer great taste, healthy fats, and nutritional value without these risks. Food should be a source of nourishment and strength, not an overlooked source of harm. At this point, the difference between beneficial and harmful nuts is clear. The right ones can support the mind, the heart, the metabolism, and even sleep. The wrong ones can quietly chip away at well-being, often without warning signs until damage has already taken place. In the final reflection, small daily choices become the foundation of lasting health. After years of listening to patients in their 60s, 70s, and beyond, it is clear that aging itself is not the enemy. What makes the difference is repetition, the habits practiced every day. A handful of the right nuts can restore energy, strengthen focus, and improve mobility. The wrong handful can lead to inflammation, fatigue, and avoidable decline. The 4 nuts worth keeping in a daily routine are Brazil nuts, almonds, walnuts, and pistachios. These are not just snacks. They are tools of nourishment carrying the nutrients that aging bodies need most. They provide support for hormone balance, cognitive health, bone strength, blood pressure control, and more. Small actions repeated over time lead to powerful results. That truth holds steady at any age. Choosing the right foods. Even something as simple as a daily handful of nuts is a step toward rewriting the future of health one bite at a time. Not because they are trendy, not because they are displayed in the health food aisle under soft lights and clever labels, but because they work. Brazil, nuts, almonds, walnuts and pistachios each support a core function of the aging body. They help regulate thyroid activity and testosterone levels. They strengthen bones and nourish brain cells. They improve sleep quality, support heart function, and restore a sense of agency over your own health. Alongside these 4 nutritional allies are 4 others that look harmless, even healthy, but work against the body's needs after 60. Peanuts, cashews, macadamia nuts, and pine nuts have all been shown to cause inflammation, interfere with medications, raise blood sugar levels, contribute to weight gain, or in some cases, unintentional weight loss. Many of these nuts are heavily marketed as wholesome or natural, yet their effects on an aging body can be quietly harmful. What used to energize now leaves fatigue. What used to pass through easily now causes subtle disruptions that accumulate over time. This transformation is not a flaw in the body. It is the body evolving, adapting, responding to the decades it has carried. And none of this means that health is out of reach. The body still listens, it still changes, it still responds to even the smallest adjustments. Energy can return, clarity can sharpen, strength can rebuild. But it starts with the consistency of small supportive actions. A man who replaced peanuts with pistachios saw his blood pressure drop without adding another prescription. A woman who began eating 1 Brazil nut each day felt her energy come back after months of fatigue. A couple who began sharing walnuts in the evening started sleeping through the night again for the first time in months. These aren't miracles, they're biology. They are real outcomes that happen when the body receives the fuel it needs to function well. Health is not defined by numbers alone. It is waking up and feeling grounded. It is remembering names, walking without fear of falling, laughing longer, holding a loved one's hand without exhaustion. It is participation in daily life, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and intimately. The body is not broken. It is not too old to rebuild. It is not too far gone to come back to strength, to steadiness, to confidence. It just needs to be supported in the right way. Not with drastic diets or long lists of restrictions, but with simple, consistent changes. Start with the nuts. Let them be the first gesture, a signal to the body and to the mind that it is time to support health again with intention, with care, and with belief in what is still possible.